Hey guys, back again. So I just realized there was an error. Okay, you can see route.get requests a callback function but got an object undefined. Okay, because let me just go back to my token handler and say token handler return request response and we add next. What is going on here is that it's blocking the route, so that's why it's complaining. And let's say return next. So let's keep going with this, and that should fix it. Okay, let's just restarting again. So we just refresh and you can see that the problem here is that, as I said before, this one executes before the rest. Okay, so we need to say, okay, you know what, not and express. After you're done with this, let's just move on to the next one. Okay, so we need to say return next if we want something. For example, if the token is true, we say return next. Okay, so we allow the request to continue to the next stuff, which is the show create or create post. Okay, but if the token is not valid, then we can say, hey, stop here and let's redirect the user to somewhere else. Okay, so this is what is allowing the function to continue, or the flow of the application to continue to the next part. Okay, which is in this case, the third parameter in this router function. So okay, that should be done, and this one is going to be quite big because it's the register. So we are going to do this stuff. Let's see if I can do it. If I can do it. Sorry. So we have the show register and the register. Okay, am I recording? It should be recording. Yep. So inside this register, we're going to do the next stuff. Okay, but we need to add. Remember that we already have the connection and all that. So let's say constant con. The double N require the connection that we have inside the config and the Sequelize config. Okay, we want the connection. We want the constant file system require file system. We want bcrypt equals constant bcrypt require bcrypt. Everything's installed and it's already done, so we just need to import it here. Users upload require. This one is on libs, so this is from Multer. Libs users and constant salt rounds. We want this for bcrypt, let's say 10. Constant, we just structure this, and we want the models from the models that we have inside the libs. Remember, we have the index. Okay, it's on models libs index. Why I don't have the index there? Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's not libs. It's models and index. Okay. Remember that the models are returning from the index here, which is looping through all the models, okay, except, or all the files here except the index.js, and loading the models and the relationships or associations. Okay, so let me just, this is the post one, this is the routes, let's just close this one. And keep this token and keep the out controller. So we need constant handle. Oh, so we're using the require from libs promise handler. Seems I'm using promise. Well, I'm not sure if I'm using this one. So instead of just inspecting the code, I'm just going to leave it outside. So JSON web token equals require JSON web token. Like that. It's not showing me IntelliSense for some reason. But it's loading. So and constant storage equals require libs and handy storage. Okay. So we're going to start with real coding here. So inside the register, let's just add some space in there so we can see. We're going to check. We need to check if we have the connection. Okay. If there's an error in the connection, what we're going to say response that status 500. Okay. Let me just check something. Yeah, we're just going to handle or return a status 500 there. Else, so yeah, if we don't have the connection, then we're just going to cancel everything, returning a status 500. And if we have the connection, meaning MySQL is working, then we're going to handle the user's upload. The stuff here with this specification of Multer, or the way I have it here, is that, okay, this is not it, is that with this we can handle errors. So it's different to what I have seen from other, I'm not a YouTuber, from other coders on YouTube. Okay, I should call them coders. So I am, I work as a developer. Well, developers. Let's call them developers on YouTube. So this is different to what they do. So it could look odd, but it's going to allow us to handle the errors. Okay, and this is actually how it's set up in the documentation, I think. So I've seen some stuff different when I check some other developers on YouTube that I'm not sure. Well, yeah, it can be handled in different ways, but in case you're wondering what is going on, we're just going to plug the user's upload, which is going to handle the request and the response, because at this point, there is no way we can handle the request and response without Multer. Okay, there is no way, at least in this case. So we need Multer because Multer is going to grab us the file, and with that, it's going to grab us the request. So it's going to return us that. So if Multer is not working, or if we have an error in Multer, then we're going to say response at the status 500, and we're going to render again the register page. Okay, register, and we can pass something here. You can see the options. We can pass an object. So let's say error, and let's use backticks error uploading image. So at this point, the image should be uploaded when we handle this from Multer. So we will have the file and all that from Multer. And also the request with the name of the user and the email. But at this point, the request and response, if we try to use them outside, okay, here, outside of this function, those are going to be empty. They need, or we need to grab what is inside Multer, because Multer now is handling everything. Okay, so that's why it might be odd to do all this with Multer. Okay, because you need to handle that inside the Multer function. So the request and the response is bypassed, okay, or is passed from the from Node.js to Multer, so it's going to handle that. Okay, we cannot grab this inside the function as we are doing here, for example. Okay, it needs to be inside the user's object function, and we need to handle if the file is there or not. Okay, so if we have an error in all this process, then we're going to render a 500 status and pass the view, and with that we're going to pass an error that we're going to, or that we are able to append inside the template. Okay, else, so here, what is it? What is, well, let me just, okay, what is this else? This else means there was no error, the image is already there. Okay, the image is already uploaded at this point. There's nothing we can do about that. But what we can do is to check if the user is correct, if everything is correct there, and then remove or keep the image there. Okay, that is how we're going to handle that. So if request that body, now we have access to the request inside this Multer function, so we can use that. So if the request email or the request that body password equals, okay, let's be a little more, let's add some best practices here. So we want this to be identical. Okay, so if this is identical to this empty string, then we're going to do something, of course. But you might be asking where the hell you are getting the email and the password. So let me just pin this one and pin this one, and I can move them. Okay, so we have the name password, the name avatar, and the name email. The request that we pass to the out register, which is the one we are working now, and you can see it's the method post that is going to grab that. Then the email, password, avatar is what we're going to return in this request body, or we're going to get here in this request body. Okay, so we're checking the email inside this body object from the request, which is the form. Okay, but at this point, as I said, the file we add here is already uploaded. So let me just add these comments so you can just follow along with this. At this point, the image is being uploaded for some, well, for some reason. Let's call it like that. Let's add some. So the image is already there. So we need to remove that if the email and the password are empty, meaning the user didn't add those for some reason. So we need to say let avatar's path equals users avatars. Okay, and we pass the request that file name. Remember, we have, let me just go to where the hell is this stuff? Libraries. Okay, Remember here, we're going to do a renaming, okay? So when we are actually here in this request file, that file name, the image, because it has been already uploaded into our user avatars, is going to already have the file name changed, okay? So we're accessing the file name here that Multer already changed, okay? So don't worry about this one. Then we're going to say file system on link sync avatars path. So we are creating the path to that file that is already there. Error. And if, let's say there's an error, okay, not there. So this is going to return an error in case the file wasn't removed, okay? So in case Node wasn't able to remove that, most of the times is because the file is not there, it's not in that specific path, okay, that you missed something inside your path, okay? So we're going to just console the log inside the terminal, okay, the error deleting and the name of the file. You can also, sorry, use logs. Maybe this is an application you have in your server, and all the images that are not being deleted, you just pass them inside your logs, so someone can take a look at that in the weekend or on his free time, his or her free time, and just remove them manually from the the server or the AWS storage or Firebase or wherever you have that. Okay, so there's plenty of stuff that you can do here in order to handle better all this stuff. So we have the if. Okay, if things go wrong. Okay, but we need one more piece of code here that is not there. Response that status for O3 that render. So finally, here on line 31, we're going to handle this stuff. Okay, so this is only for the image, and here we're going to handle the that we were able to delete the file and all the stuff, and we are going to handle here that the user didn't send the email and password. So let's say that register, and we pass an error. Remember, this stuff is an object, okay? And we will be able to grab this inside the template, the book template. Okay, so this one is on register. Okay, let's go to register, auth, register. If I can type correctly, of course. Okay. Yep. Let me just showcase this. Why I'm doing this. If I can just open this one on, where do I have that? Libraries, no. Use, no. I don't have the folders, right? Okay, so let me just add the folders. Let me just open this stuff. Give me a second, guys. Sorry about this. Let's go to projects, or no, sorry, my projects. Let's check the Sequelize and give me the covers. Let's add a new folder here. Covers. And let's add a new folder here, users. Inside the users, we have something called avatars, a new folder called avatars. Inside covers, we have the covers. Okay, so that should be all. So let's see what happens actually if I do this, register, and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Choose a file. Okay, let's go to media. Let's go here and pick a file. Let's add here. Okay, and submit. So we are not returning anything. Okay, you can see that we already have the file. Okay, so but we don't have anything from the user. So let me just go here, open this, and let's check on the network. Let's clear this, refresh it, and you can see we have the okay function.js is not there first of all, and register, return and on auth. Okay, let me just check the headers. Oh, not modify, sorry, missed that one. 403 is unauthorized. So okay, and let's see what we can see in the console. Nothing actually, and the file has been uploaded twice, right? Because we, oh no. Okay, so let me just move this out of the way there, and let's handle this. So right now, let me just check something. Yeah, because this is going to be the trickiest one. The system test is going to be removing this one as we go, and should. Okay, let me just go to register and add something. Oh, we can see the error there. Why is not triggering that? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Choose a file. Let's choose her again, and we should delete that one. Let's place this one here. And let's choose her again. Open. So we should see only one. Submit, and it's not returning anything. And we have two. Okay, so this is not working. Why is not working? Users or controller. What if we change this? Okay, let me just check out because it should work. Let me just remove these ones, the images. So we have everything clear. And yeah, because it's not returning anything. Return status 403. Okay, let's see. Let's see if that's the stuff. Okay, the site can be reached. Let's go to register. Email 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Choose a file. Again. Submit. Waiting for localhost. Oh, because I'm a stupid guy. Sorry about that. Let's just close this, refresh, because I'm so freaking stupid. I shouldn't be adding. I just remove the image from the folder. Okay. So choose a file. We add sucrose again, and we submit. Okay, because I have the required because I'm that smart, guys. Sorry. Let me just remove the required, and that should work actually. Let's go back. Let's refresh. Let's choose a file. Let's add sucrose again. and let's submit. And you can see, please fill all the form elements, and we should have a 403 forbidden. Okay, I'm returning a 403. Why is forbidden? I don't know. I should return a 500. But you can see we are returning the error. Okay, here. Okay, the function is not there, but we are returning a 403 forbidden. Okay, from localhost 4000 out register. So yeah, that is working. It was not working, and it removed the image. Okay, it was not working because I was adding the freaking email and password, and I was checking. Sorry, my bad freaking English. Let's recover this requires. And I was checking for those stuff to be empty. That was the deal, and I was adding the stuff that I was checking for emptiness. So let's just move on with this. So we saw that this error is going to be displayed with the error we have here. So let's say 500, and we're going to continue with this. So we have a new else inside this. The email and password are set, and let's just do this. Let me add this comment, so I think this helps you better. So everything went okay at this point in this else, and encrypt the password. So the way to encrypt the password is say let hash, creating a variable, and bcrypt that we need hash sync. We say request that body that password, and we say salt rounds. The salt rounds is what we have here on line 5. So save the user. Remember, we have the models. Okay, inside models we can grab the user. Where are the models? The models are coming from this. Okay, from not Sequelize Models index. Okay, and let's say create. We can access. You can see object to use a prototype, maybe null. Create an object that has the specified prototype or that has a null prototype. Okay, so we say email request that body that email, and here we use or create a user using the model. Everything is already loaded, guys. We already did those in the last videos, so it's just time of plugging in everything. Password, no, sorry, hash is the hash. We don't want to store the password in case the password or the database is has a leak or someone gets those records. We don't want to store the password as it is. We want to store the hash that is created with bcrypt. Okay, so we then just compare the inputs that we're getting and to see if those generate the hash that we have stored, and we just allow the user depending on that. So email password avatar URL request that file name. Remember, at this point the image is already there, and we just need to fill everything from the database in order to use them. I added this like all low caps for some reason. Request that file I'm just adding the avatar URL. For example, this should be something like let's call it like that, http whatever S3 storage. I think that's something that you can do. I mean, that is the I can't remember, AWS S3, AWS, something like that. Okay, so I'm adding the avatar URL because in case you store that URL inside another service like AWS or Firebase, then you will need to store the URL of the file located in their servers. Okay, but in order to delete, you will need to get the name, the specific name of the file. Okay, so that is why I'm adding the avatar URL and the avatar name. So just going to say then here. We can just await this create. What we could do if we want to use async, we say async here, okay, and we await the create, but let's just use then. If the user, nope, why I added it? Okay, then user, this is going to return us the user. We can say console.log the user created, and we need to do something here. This. We need to set a token and the user values here so we can access those inside our application. So remember, we have something that is the storage, which is coming from a handy storage, which is a file essentially that is going to contain whatever we tell it to contain. So we're going to say set state, something similar to what we had in React. And we say, and this is something that I thought that could help you, because I think most of the people here like React more than Angular, and well, that's something. So this could help you to think better of what is going on, right? So token, okay, we still have a ton of stuff to do. There's a web token that we need to sign using the user. This is an object and the request that body that email. We add our super secret password that we should have inside the index. I don't have that. Let me just pin this one and let's go to index. Okay, I don't have that. Oh, because I'm using it here. Okay, let's just roll with this. So we need to sign the token using something that is from the user. Okay, so in this case, we're not going to use the password or the hash. We're going to use the body email, the email of the user, in order to sign the token. And we call the expiration time expires in, let's say, we need to add it like 2 hours, like that, 2H. Okay, when this token is going to expire and it's going to be signed in or signed using the email of the user. So that is going to be the kind of, so every sign in a JSON Web Token needs to be specific, okay, to the user. So right now, the most specific thing we have to the user could be the hash, but let's just use the email, okay? And let's say user, and we need to say user that data values. So what is going to return here? Okay, from the user, you will see this object, and this object has the values of the user. So we will see that in a bit. So let me just finish all this stuff because we are running, well, not running out of time, but it's kind of lunch time here. So I just need to hurry. 201, create it, and redirect to the main route. Okay. So when we create a user, we're going to return the user values, and inside our storage set the token. So the token that is generated using this is going to be inside this token variable or this token property inside the storage or the hand storage, together with the user and the user values. Okay. And let's say catch. I've been checking people that use try catch, but I have a handler with all this, and I also you can use inside async and await you can append catch to that. Okay, I think we have used this in the past, but just in case you you use try catch, you can use catch inside and await. Okay, so keep that in mind. We have then, where is this finishing? Okay, here catch. For some reason it's not telling me what to add there. And if there's an error, we console error and we say let avatars. Okay, we just do this. We just delete the file that is there, because if we fail on generating a user, then we just remove the avatar that they added again, and we return with the status 500 and the register again with an error. Okay, so in case the user wasn't able to be created with the models we have. Okay, so let's actually go here and try to get this. There are several errors for some reason. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Choose a file. Let's also cross again, open, and submit. And you can see we got redirected. We have still a function JS to be in 404. We need to add that. And why we need functions JS? Just because we want the menu to work, so we need to add that. And the main CSS that is not there actually. But let me just grab this one. Database. It's going to open here. Let me just go to. Oh, well, it's going to open here anyways. And you can see we have allocava with this hash, the URL, and the avatar name. Okay, it's just the same in this case. We will see this to match. And we generated this 2021 01/28, and this seems to be the time. Okay, it has a different time. So, well, we're using the default, so it should have a different time zone. So let me just go to the avatars and let me just grab this one and let's see. We have avatar 161. Okay, it ends with 5024, and you can see it ends with 5024. So we are getting the correct stuff here. We were able to add a new user, and let's just add a new one, because why not? Let's go to out. Right now we are not logged in, so don't worry about that. We have the token, but we're not using that token. So let me just click this, and you can see we have the token. This is this is what we generated using the sign in. So this one is with the user email and the secret password and all that. And this is the user values. So let me just get this. Okay, here we can see that. The user data values, that is the ID, email, password, avatar, and avatar name. Okay, and the stuff. And you get the previous values of this also. So we're storing inside our state.json, which this is going to be later in the end changed to sessions, and this is how the sessions are going to work. but they're going to store that in cookies, okay, or in the IndexedDB. So that is how it's going to work. Right now, we're going to just grab this, store it in a place where we can easily see and use this to return what we have. Okay, so that's why we are using handy storage, so we can see what everything or where everything is landing. And yeah, let's just finish this one, create a new user. Let's say um, John, not like that, John Doe at user.com, something like that. We're not checking the if that already exists or if this I mean is a valid email. Okay, we're not checking that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Choose a file. We just pick one that I have here. I should have another cool one. Give me a second. Well, let me just grab what I have here. I have one that I always use, this one, and open. Okay, and submit, and we get redirected. Okay, a data breach on site, expose your password. Okay, why is this going on? Maybe because I'm using a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 password. Okay, let's just keep this one. If that keeps appearing, we will just check what the hell is that. Okay. So you can see we have another. Let me just make this bigger. Okay, so you can see we have all these two images from these two users. You can see the names, avatar, dash, and the naming. And let's just do this, and we need to hit this button. Okay, so we can see John Doe at user.com. We can see the hash of the password, and we can see the avatar and created at. Okay, so we are able to create users, and this is going to change the token that we have in this file. You can see now we have the John Doe at user.com. Okay, so this instance is going to change the token, and it's going to change the user. So and of course we have the if error. So just one more thing, guys, remember that we're passing here the error, and the way to grab that inside our template is checking if that is set, and we just add, for example, this paragraph with class error. So for this, or to this, you can append the color red and all that, you know, the CSS. And if success, we append the success, that we're not returning anything from there. But if the user is created, okay, so this was the deal why I didn't add the success. Because I don't have, I think we cannot add to redirects, okay? Or I think we can add that to 302. Well, I can remember, but I think we cannot add that object to redirects, okay? But what you could do is check, it's just to this render the 200 or 201, 201 is created, render the register with the success instead of this. So let's say success, and user was created, and just like that. But I just don't like that behavior, because if I create a user, and I'm still on that form after the user has been created, you know, it feels weird, at least to me, So I'm just always redirecting to whenever they need to be. Okay, so I just don't like the user to sit there in case everything went okay. If there was an error, yeah, show them the error. Never show, okay, well, on the login we will see that, but never show your password is wrong, your user is wrong. Just show a 500 error. Just abstract that. Don't let anyone know what is going on. Just show a 500 because with 500 errors, the server is implied on that. Okay, so the server, something happened in the server. You don't know what. Okay, so you never give any more information that you need to give to the user. Okay, just 1 second. Okay. No, I'm still a little paranoid because seems that this week is off, but they might send me something to work later. So yeah, this is going to be the end of this one. We already have the user registration in place, guys. So good job. And if you have any error, just let me know. Next time, we're going to handle the login. And with that, we will have everything in place to keep the user in and out. But I think we're going to keep that pending, connecting everything for the user, or I'm not sure. We will see because I don't want to be well. Also, the token, yeah. The token is going to be valid, and we don't have still the token handler, so we can do anything we want actually at this point. So the token handler is what is going to say, hey, you don't have the correct token. Your token is invalid, so get out of here. Okay, so this is the job of the token handler in our middlewares. So yeah, we are just going to go and plug in everything, and we're going to handle the token handler in kind of the last videos when everything is connected. Okay, this is just a simple function that we're going to add at the end or when we are done with most of the functionality. Okay, so sorry. Well, guys, that's all for now. Thank you and see you in the next one.